Would you like some good quality anime merch? Well, you can get that from our sponsor today, Beautiful Halo, link in the description. And on your next $49 plus order, get 5% off with the code MEME, and $99 plus order use code MEME for 10% off. Right before we begin this video, I just want to shout out my friend Hxmesh. Yes, he's my guy, and he just started a YouTube channel, and go subscribe to him, show him some love. He does Warzone videos. He just started, and his videos are actually kind of way better than mine. I started with 360p videos. He started with 1080p. Ways. Anywho, now if you guys can go subscribe to him, show him some love, I'd appreciate it a lot, and he would too. And anywho, let's get right into the video. Roll the intro. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is a new what if, and a lot of you have been asking for this what if, and this is what if Naruto was neglected. Here Naruto will have multiple brothers and sisters, and I'll say that Minato and Kushina actually had a few kids before Naruto, and basically once Naruto was actually born, here Minato actually died, while Kushina got half of the 9 tails, and Naruto got the other half. Of course, Kushina here blamed Naruto for Minato's death, and so Naruto actually was always neglected by his siblings and his mother, and of course Naruto was really sad about this, but of course he really couldn't do anything about this. Anywho, now Naruto, one day he's had enough. He used to get bullied by his older brothers and sisters, and just saying, Kushina got the yang side, so Naruto got the kind chroma. He used to get abused at home by his younger brothers, older brothers and sisters. He actually had 2 older brothers and 1 older sister, and the oldest one was actually 4 years older than Naruto, and the second oldest one was 2 years older, and a sister was actually a year older than Naruto. Even though the sister wasn't as bad as the other 2, still she hated Naruto with every fiber of her being, and it was what it was. Anyway, Naruto, once he had enough, he got neglected by the whole entire village. He got neglected by his family. Of course, Minato wasn't like this. Minato actually loved Naruto from the day he was born, and he would be really disappointed in seeing his wife and his kids treating Naruto, one of their own, like this. But it was what it was. And just saying, Naruto got all the freaking chakra, anywho, out of the brothers and sisters. But one day Naruto has had enough. He was 6 years old, and he actually decided to leave. Naruto actually stole a scroll the day before, and he actually wrote every ninjutsu he could. And just saying, the Hokage was actually really kind to Naruto, and so Naruto actually left a note for the Hokage saying that he'll be leaving, and he loved the Hokage out of everyone in the village, and he never really had anyone like a true family other than him. The Hokage was like a grandfather to him, and so now Naruto wants to apologize for leaving the village and to the Hokage, and the Hokage was really moved by this, and so of course he didn't actually go to search for Naruto, because he knows that Naruto has had a toxic relationship with his family, and so he actually allowed Naruto, and he knows that Naruto really can't handle anymore, and so he actually believes it's the best for Naruto, and so he lets him go. Of course, Naruto now he actually wrote down a few jutsus from the scroll of sealing, and he actually saw one from his one from the 4th Hokage, and he thought the 4th Hokage was like the best Hokage ever, like how he gave his life up to save the village, and how Naruto was chosen to actually keep half of the tail beast. I know it's half of the tail beast was like, oh, Naruto would be hated, but still he really loved the Hokage, and he wanted to become Hokage himself. But of course this village really pissed him off, and he had to leave. But of course Naruto did have 2 friends during this time. He had Shikamaru. Well, he actually had Choji and Shikamaru, and here Again, it's not going to be a female Sasuke or female or Tsuki ship or anything else, but it's going to be a Sukome ship. I'm sure you all know who Tsukome is. I'm pretty sure I've used it before, but it is what it is. Anywho, after this, Naruto of course leaves the village, and of course he has provisions. He has things to eat, and so he won't die from starvation or thirst or anything like that. But it is what it is. Uh, Now Naruto, who has been traveling for 2 days, of course his mother was kind of worried because she didn't have anyone to, stress out on, but it was what it was. Anywho, of course this was really sad, and Minato actually, of course, Minato left a ton of chakra in Naruto here, since he wasn't stabbed in the freaking chest right at the last moment. Minato had a ton of chakra, remember. Anywho, of course, now so he left enough chakra to actually have a full conversation with Naruto, and it was what it was. Anywho, now Naruto, of course, he actually began his training on his own, and here the Nine Tails was actually watching after Naruto, and he was actually really proud of Naruto, how he took initiative, and he said enough is enough, and literally decided to leave the village on his own terms and leave the toxic relationship with his family, because he's had enough, and he enjoys that Naruto has a bossy side to himself. Like, he can't, like, if you can't take something, like, bro, you're my guy, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, bro, you're taking the piss, fuck off, fuck you, and fuck you. Sorry if this is a bit of swearing, but like, bro, I'd be like, hey yo, my guy, if you're gonna do that to me, disown me and that, and so I can have a free life in that, suck a dick. Anyway, of course, now Naruto, and yes, this is the true self. This is the true king of weebs. Yes, I am kind of like that. It's just a joke, but I'm pretty sure you guys understand, right? Anyway, of course, now Naruto, who has started training, and I will have a 2-year time skip now. Naruto's now 8, and one day after his training, he actually learned the Rasengan, and he learned how to use all 4 of the 5 chakra natures by now, and that was actually a bit of plot armor there, but it is what it is. Now after this, Naruto, who trained for a full year on his, a full 2 years with on his own, he actually one day got ill. Yes, Naruto got really ill, and he collapsed. Naruto collapsed to the ground, and it was raining on that one day, on that one fateful day, and it was what it was. And yeah, so Naruto, of course, after this, Naruto actually, he was actually really close to death, until a girl actually named Sukome, you know what I mean, of course, picked him up and took her to her own hideout, and basically Naruto saw that Sukome was healing him, and Sukome was actually alone. She actually ran away from Madara because she never really understood why Madara used to do all those experiments on her, and she has Hashirama cells. She doesn't have a face on her, and Madara actually realized that she ran away at the age of 3. I mean, sorry, not the age of 3, at the age of 5, and so just like Naruto, pretty much, Naruto ran away at the age of 6, to be honest, a year after, but still, Naruto and Sukome could relate a lot to each other, but it is what it is. Now, of course, Naruto actually asked where he was, and Sukome is like, you were ill, you collapsed, so I picked you up, I took you to my own house. And basically Sukome was, Naruto then asked, who is she? And basically Sukome explained that she is Sukome, and of course Naruto and Sukome then after Sukome actually helped Naruto get better, just saying Sukome is really independent. Anywho, after this, now Naruto and Sukome actually became real good friends, especially because Sukome literally saved Naruto's life. So Naruto's really grateful, and he'd do anything for Sukome, and Sukome is like, can I read some of your scrolls, because I don't really have many techniques to learn. And basically Naruto's like, of course, I copied the whole of this scroll of sealings, and you can take any jutsu you want. And basically Sukome doesn't know about her wood release abilities, but still, it is what it is. Now for now, Sukome will have to deal with the abilities that she knows that she can actually use. And yeah, after this, now Naruto and Sukome actually trained for the next 4 years. And just saying, Naruto's brothers and sisters are already once Naruto's 12, they've already been Genins for 2 3 even a year, 2, or maybe even 3 by now. But it is what it is. After this, Naruto, of course, one of them actually became the two brothers actually became Chunin by now, and Kushina was really proud of them. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Sorry. Anyway, I'll be stopping the recording for now. I need to do something. Anyway, after this, Naruto and Sukome actually became lovers. Literally, now that they're 12, they actually realize that they have feelings for each other, and basically they actually now sleep on the same bed and everything. But still, it is what it is. Now, of course, Sukome actually did tell Naruto that she really liked Naruto. Naruto said that he liked her back, and of course, remember, Sukome did save Naruto's life, and they've been living together for the however many years now, and since the age of 8, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so 4 years. And of course, now Naruto, who is already literally, Naruto is actually uh, high tier tuning level, yes, and Sukome too. Sukome already has unlocked her 3-to-1 Sharingan, and that's just plot armor. Now she already had the 2-to-1 Sharingan, but Naruto and Sukome actually went through near-death experiences during their time together, and that is because they actually went on a mission to actually get infiltrate a base to actually earn some money, because someone actually hired them. And it is what it is. Of course, now Sukome and Naruto are pretty freaking strong, to be honest. But now Naruto, of course, tells Sukome that they need to move hideouts. It's too dangerous in the same place for more than 2 years, and basically Sukome agrees, and so they actually move closer to the land of fire. And yes, Naruto was actually near the land of waves, and so during their journey, they actually come across this ninja called Itachi Uchiha. Naruto actually knows Itachi Uchiha because he's actually seen him in the village. Of course, after this, Sukome was kind of confused on who Itachi Uchiha was, but it is what it is. After this, Naruto actually explains, and basically Itachi actually asks, "Oh, so Naruto, so you came out here," and basically Naruto's like, "So you've known too," and basically Itachi that says, "Well, the Hokage has told me that you actually escaped the village because of your abusive home life." And basically Naruto's like, "Well, I guess you didn't leave the village because you did that thing. You must have got forced by someone." And just saying, Naruto's really smart here. Naruto's not like that one dumb kid. He's actually extremely smart, and smarter than the original Naruto, that's for sure. And is what it is. Now, after this, Itachi actually asks what is Naruto's next goal. And just saying, Naruto only knows the Rasengan, even though he's actually wrote down pretty much the whole of the scroll of sealing. He doesn't know anything other than the Rasengan, a few other techniques which are pretty freaking OP. But of course, Naruto's actually trying to learn the flying Raijin. But then Naruto actually explains that him and Sukome have been traveling together, and they've done a few missions here and there, commissions, to be honest. And yeah, and basically Itachi then says, "I see." And just saying, Itachi is actually alone. He's actually alone because the next mission with Kisame is in 6 weeks. Yes, 6 weeks, because remember, the Akatsuki weren't too active, especially because this is like 4 months before the exams of the Genin, so the Akatsuki weren't really active from what we know. Anywho, now Naruto of course asks Itachi what is he going to do, and basically Itachi then says he's going to be spying on the Akatsuki. And the only reason he's telling this to Naruto is because he actually trusts Naruto, because Naruto is not a snake. And of course, if Naruto was to actually leak any information out, he was going to get rid of Naruto and just cover up. And of course, now Naruto tells him that asks him, to be honest, not tells him, asks him if he can actually spar with him and Sukome until his next mission or something. And of course, Itachi actually accepts this, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll spar with you. Let's see. And of course, Naruto actually does really good, same as Sukome, and Itachi can see a lot of potential in them. Of course, since Naruto is actually missing in the village, I'm going to say that Naruto's sister, I'm not sure what to call her. I'll just call her guys, I haven't thought of their names. Anywho, Kayo, yes, Kayo. Her name is Kayo, and her brother, the elder brother is actually Kayu, and the other one is actually called Menma. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of a different wife I did that. Naruto's brother was meant to be called Menma, but anywho, after this, now Naruto has of course, Itachi, of course, asked what's his name, Naruto, if what does he want to learn, and Naruto's like, can you teach me a few techniques that you know yourself? And basically, I forgot to mention, I said the names of the siblings, but Naruto will be replaced by Naruto's sister, even though she's a year older than them. She's actually going to be in that team because she never really had space for another team, and so she was actually kind of left out by her friends in that, and so she actually joins this team, even though she doesn't really care, especially because she's not or she actually liked Sasuke, and is what is. Now of course Naruto trains with Itachi and Sukome for the next a few days, and Sukome and a few weeks, sorry, and of course Naruto and Sukome actually learn a few things. For example, the Fire Phoenix Jutsu, and Naruto actually thanks Itachi, and Itachi says no problem, I trust you, Naruto, and you better not tell anyone about my secret. And basically Naruto said don't worry, and then says goodbye to Itachi and tells him that maybe one day they'll meet again and they can fight again since they are student and teacher. And basically Itachi just smiles and just goes off on his own, of course disappears in the shadows. And then of course Naruto and Sukome actually go off on their own. Sukome actually asked Naruto was how his life really that bad, and basically Naruto then says, well, I have told you multiple times, and yeah, it really was. And basically then Naruto then actually asks Sukome his own question. Sukome did tell him about her grandfather doing all those experiments on her, and how she ran away, but she never really told him who her grandfather is. But then Sukome actually goes silent and says, I'd rather not say that information. And basically Naruto's like, alright, sorry, I think that was kind of personal, sorry. Anywho, of course Sukome is like, no, it's fine, it's just that I don't really feel like talking about him anymore, he's a disgusting human being, please allow it. And basically Naruto's like, it's fine, I really didn't care, to be honest, like all that matters is that I'm with you, right? And basically Sukome then just smiles, and basically Naruto was kinda sad that he actually hit a nerve. And basically Sukome doesn't want to talk about her past because it was really that bad. And of course, as I said before, they can relate in many ways. Of course, now Naruto and Sukome actually arrive at the land of fire, and basically Naruto actually wants to go visit someone that he's actually missed for a while. And so him and Sukome actually infiltrate the the Leaf Village. And so Naruto actually goes to the Hokage's office, and basically, of course, with a mask in case they actually get caught. And two shinobi appear in front of the Hokage, and here the two shinobi were actually not too tall, but the Hokage actually recognized one of them, which was actually Naruto. Of course, then the Hokage was actually ecstatic to see Naruto. He was like, Naruto, I guess you're back. And basically Naruto's like, it's been a while, Gramps. And basically then Naruto actually takes off his mask, and basically even Sukome, since she feels safe around him for some reason, she takes off her mask. And basically Naruto introduces the Hokage, Sukome to the Hokage, and basically the Hokage is like, oh, might this be Naruto? And basically Naruto then says, this is Sukome, she's one of my friends, and she's pretty much one of my only friends, and we've been traveling together for the past few years, 4 years in fact, and we've been training together, and Anywho, of course, after this, the Hokage was really happy for Naruto to actually make friends, and so he actually asked Naruto how his training is going, and basically Naruto then explains that he's actually seeing Itachi Uchiha, and basically the Hokage is like, Itachi, so what did he say? And basically Naruto then says that he knows the truth about Itachi, and how it was sad, but of course Itachi did this on his own accord. And basically the Hokage then actually says, well, he was actually kind of mad for at the same time. I could have actually prevented all of this from happening, but of course Danzo had to get in the way. But of course now Naruto changes the subject because this is a delicate subject, and of course now Naruto then says, how are you? And basically of course the Hokage explains that in a few months the Genin, of course his friends, his two friends that he actually had in the village, will be taking the exam, and basically Naruto's really happy for them that they actually made it this far, and basically then asks about his siblings, and of course the Hokage then says, are you sure you want to talk about this, Naruto? And basically Naruto then actually nods, and basically the Hokage goes on to actually explain that Caillou, yes, Caillou is actually the older one, actually became is actually really close to becoming a Jonin. Then it's actually then the other one is Menma, the second oldest is actually a Chunin, just became a Chunin yet last year, and the last one is Kaio. Of course Kaio is actually become a Genin last year, but she doesn't really have a team, and she will be put on a team, the team that Hale was meant to be in it, with Team Kakashi. And yes, the team have already been chosen. In case they don't pass, of course it will be changed, but they believe that all of the Genin that will be the Genin that will be taken in the taking the exam, they will pass. Well, no, not the Genin, the academy students, that they already know who will pass and who won't, because they can see, well, they've actually calculated it from their skill level and their intelligence level, and of course mostly skill, because remember, is a jutsu test. And yeah, it is what it is. Now after this, Naruto of course then asks about his mother, and basically the Hokage says that she's been really proud of your siblings, and basically Naruto's like, oh, is it? And basically after this just smiles and says, well, good for them, at least they're having a good life. And basically then the Hokage is like, well, how's your life been? And basically Naruto's like, well, it's been better than before, since he's met someone that he actually loves now. And basically then just looks at Sukome, and Sukome is like, wait, what's going on? And basically the Hokage then asks Sukome how was her life, why did she join Naruto and everything. And of course Sukome then explained that her grandfather was a bad man, and so she actually ran away from him. And yeah, now one day she actually stumbled she stumbled into Naruto, who was actually ill on the floor, and he was he was really on the verge of death. And basically Naruto of course then says, yeah, and she saved me. And of course the Hokage was happy for both of them, that they actually became friends, and they can trust each other. At least now he doesn't have to worry about Naruto as much as he used to. And yeah, after this of course the Hokage then asks Sukome to take care of Naruto, and basically Sukome is like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And basically after this Naruto actually tells him that they'll have to leave soon, and basically the Hokage says to have a good journey. And of course after this they leave, and Naruto and Sukome actually go on a journey again to actually find different techniques to actually learn from different masters. And one day they actually stumble up against someone else. This someone was actually Roshi. Yes, Roshi, the Jinchuriki of the Full Tails. And of course Naruto and Sukome actually become his students, and Roshi is actually more than happy to take them in as students, because they were actually really, really talented. And basically Roshi was of course interesting. These two have a true passion to learn taijutsu, and of course they actually learn taijutsu. And Naruto actually trained just from training with Roshi. It was actually able to unlock lava release, and that is because of the Nine Tails mostly. And of course Roshi knows that Naruto is a Jinchuriki, and Naruto knows that too by now. Naruto has learned about him being the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, and of course Roshi has asked Naruto if he knew, and Naruto nods, well, of course said yes, of course, and I found that a few years back. And basically after this, now Naruto, of course, asks Roshi, why is he asking, and basically Roshi then explains that he's the Jinchuriki of the Four Tails, and basically now Naruto and Roshi could relate even further. Of course, of course, Sukome kind of feels left out, but she understands that two Jinchuriki may have tips for each other in case, especially because it seems that Roshi is more, well, of course, he's more, he's not too fussed about, you know, having the Four Tails inside of him. While Naruto was kinda like, I'm not sure what the Nine Tails can do or anything, if you can take control of my body or anything. But of course, this Nine Tails wouldn't. While the other one is actually fighting for control against Kushina, but of course, Kushina has held the full Nine Tails back in the days, and is what he is. Of course, now Naruto keeps training with Roshi and, you know, Sukome, and yeah, after this, they actually leave, because it's been a few months, and yeah, the Chunin exam, the Genin exam actually happened as per normal, and of course, the teams were announced. Team 7 was the same, except for that Kaio was actually in her Naruto's spot, and so after this, Naruto and you know, Sukome actually left. After this, Naruto and Sukome traveled together to actually a different, well, back to the land of waves, and they actually met, of course, came across these two shinobi, and one of them was Zabuza, one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, and of course, after this, Naruto and Sukome actually fought the two, because they actually bumped into them literally while they were traveling. And yeah, of course, now Zabuza was pretty pissed, and Haku just had to fight with Zabuza, even though he didn't want to kill them, but it is what it is. After this, Naruto actually was able to fight off Zabuza, while Saki's fire release was actually hot enough to melt Haku's ice, and so they actually drew this fight. And basically, Naruto and Sukome. Naruto and Sukome's actually drew against Zabuza, and you know, Haku and Zabuza started laughing, saying that these two kids who aren't even getting yet were able to draw against us. Are we getting weaker, or just kids stronger these days, Haku? And basically, Haku has never really seen Zabuza like this, and basically Zabuza is actually really happy to see that two, random shinobi are actually just as strong as him, and he hasn't really seen anyone yet that's stronger than him. He knows people that are, but of course, as of right now, he's never, especially because he's never seen two youngsters like them to be so strong, and he was actually really excited about this. And so he actually compliments them about their strength, and basically actually asks them if they want to join their, you know, little team. And of course, Naruto and Sukome really had nothing about to do, and they actually joined. And it is what it is. Of course, Naruto actually helped out Zabuza, and he actually learned how to use a katana, not a sword like Zabuza, but it was what it was. Anywho, after this, now Naruto and Sukome, it's been a month since, you know, the Genin test, and Team 7 still passed in the end. And yeah, of course, they were still heading towards the land of waves. And yeah, now, I said and yeah too many times. Now, Naruto and Sukome actually came across, you know, Team 7, and they were actually, of course, Team 7 are on their mission as per normal, and they actually begin their fight. Of course, Zabuza takes on Kakashi, while Sasuke actually takes on Sukome, and Naruto, as usual, he takes on, you know, not as usual, Caillou actually goes up against you know, Naruto, and Naruto's pretty pissed that Caillou is there, and Caillou actually recognized Naruto at first glance, and basically she's like, little brother, I guess you were with this man this whole time. And basically Naruto's like, don't talk to me, I'm not your brother anymore. I've told you I've left the family a long time ago, so do not consider me as your brother anymore. We are enemies. I do not consider you as a sister. I'd be more than glad to kill you right now. And basically then Caillou then says, try me. you're nowhere near strong enough to actually get a hit on me. And as soon as she says this was when Naruto snapped and he's like, oh really? And basically he's already behind her. But Caillou is actually really strong, to be honest. She's not weak per se, but she is pretty, well, compared to Naruto, you could say she is weak, but Naruto is not really like Jonin level. Well, Naruto is Jonin level, but well, high tier Chunin level, not Jonin or like high tier Jonin level. You could say low tier Jonin, but yeah. Anywho, after this, Naruto and Caillou actually begin their taijutsu fight, but Naruto is much more skilled than Caillou in taijutsu, especially because Naruto has trained with Roshi, who is actually the freaking taijutsu god, pretty much, for real. Roshi has trained them in taijutsu, and especially because he is the Full Tails Jinchuriki. And plus, when I said that Naruto unlocked lava release, and that was actually because of the Full Tails actually giving Naruto chakra once Roshi and Naruto actually fist bumped, and basically now Naruto, of course, began using his lava release to actually engulf his body, and basically he punched Caillou once in the face, and Caillou went flying with and her cheek was actually scorched. And of course Kakashi still slips up, and basically of course now Caillou and Sasuke actually did the same plan as Naruto and Sasuke did in the original, and Kakashi actually escaped. But here Naruto actually helped out Zabuza out by blocking Kakashi's move, actually using lava release, and sorry, Sukome actually coming from the top and literally saying 5-star 5 Phoenix flower jutsu, and as soon as she says this, she creates a little fireball jutsu, and then she throws shuriken inside them. It's the same technique that Edo Itachi used against the Killer Bee, how Killer Bee blocked it with his tentacle. Of course, this technique is pretty freaking strong, and so Kakashi had to dodge real fast, and basically Kakashi was actually out of chakra while Zabuza was actually out of stamina, and so they all retreat. But a week later, Haku actually tells, right before they actually leave for to kill the bridge builder again, Haku and Zabuza tell Sukome and Naruto to actually leave, and basically Naruto and Sukome are like, wait, what, why? And basically Zabuza's like, this will probably be our final stand, so please leave. And basically Naruto and Sukome and Kando were really sad that they had to leave Zabuza and Haku, but they kept watching and in awe of how they got annihilated, pretty much. You know how since Naruto wasn't really there to actually destroy Haku in the end actually lost lost stamina, and he wasn't able to keep up with Caillou. Yes, Caillou is actually a goddess in using ninjutsu, and she actually learned the Rasengan. Yes, she actually knows the Rasengan. All of her brothers and her know the Rasengan, and literally she smashed it into Haku, and Naruto was pretty pissed, but then Haku actually got killed by Kakashi, and Zabuza went into a rampage against Gato, and in the end died next to Haku. Of course, once Kakashi and Team 7 were about to throw their bodies away, Naruto and Sukome actually came out of nowhere, and they both did a massive fireball jutsu together, and they took the two bodies away, and the two actually escaped. Of course, they buried them somewhere else, and Zabuza's sword was actually buried underground next to Zabuza, just to show respect and no one taking it away from Zabuza. Anywho, after this, of course, the sword was actually found by someone else, a scavenger, and they were actually able to dig it up, and of course they saw the body, and so they dug the hole back up and literally covered the body with the ground again. But it is what it is. Now Naruto and Saki actually went off on their own, and it's been 2 weeks since then, and yeah, Naruto and the Saki actually decide to actually take the Chunin exams, but they need an extra person. Of course, they don't really have an extra person, so they actually decide to cheat the system and create a clone to actually, replace the extra person they needed. And so Naruto actually creates a clone, but then Saki says, wait, I have a better idea, and basically she creates a wood clone. And yes, Naruto knows about Saki's wood release by now, and Saki actually learned about it too, and it is what it is. After this, now Naruto Saki, and of course Naruto Sukome. I said Saki way too many times, I'm so sorry guys. Anyway, Naruto, Sukome, and the clone, which we will call Cray is what it is, random name for up on the spot. Anyway, they go to the Leaf Village, and after this, Naruto and Sukome, of course, sign up for the tuning exams, and the tuning exams begin on the same day that they arrive. Of course, now Naruto and Sukome pass their exams with flying colors, easily first place, and the highest score, quickest score ever, and no cheating because they've already known about these things, because they have studied together, and it is what it is. It doesn't really matter to them. This exam doesn't matter, as long as they passed, it was fine. Anyway, after this, Naruto and Sukome went off on their own, and they just looked around the village, and until they were called for the second part of their exam. Of course, this is the Forest of Death, and this is where everything changes. Of course, since Naruto is not there, it's actually her Naruto's sister, Caillou, and of course Caillou sees that there is a lot of shinobi, and she recognizes, well, she doesn't really recognize Naruto, but she can see a resemblance to someone with this kid. But of course, Naruto's wearing a mask, but he's blonde. But still, of course, Caillou doesn't really care, and until Naruto and Sukome actually get a scroll, and they were heading towards the tower, and of course, this is kind of different because of the Sukome actually being pretty fast, and Naruto to them two together, they were actually able to quickly actually they were able to quickly find the tower, and they were about to go until they hear a few people screaming, and that is Caillou, Sakura, and after this, Naruto of course looks back and tells Sukome that they may need help, and basically Sukome, are you sure you want to help them, Naruto? And Naruto's like, I guess I really don't want to, but it is what it is, we'll just have to. And of course Sukome's like, alright, calm, no problem by me. And after this, Naruto and Sukome actually, they actually after this, they finally decide to actually help the two remaining, because Sasuke was actually bitten, and he was on the ground, and so Naruto and Sukome took care of Orochimaru on their own. And after this, Orochimaru actually escaped because he knew that these two might be a bit too strong, and he doesn't understand who they are. But of course, then Naruto and Sukome actually disappear as soon as Orochimaru is gone. And now after this, of course, the the tuning exams are nearly over, and since there isn't much left, of course there are preliminaries, and of course those begin as per normal. And here, since Naruto is an extra player, and they actually took the spot of the Sound Shinobi, because that's the scroll they actually stole, and the Sound Shinobi couldn't get another one. And yeah, after this, the clone that they actually made lost to I'll say that it lost to Temari or someone. It doesn't really matter to me. And then Naruto had to verse Choji, which he actually destroyed easily. And Sukome actually versed she actually versed, what's her name, Ino, and this time she actually beat her. And the only double knocker that actually happened was Hinata and Neji, and that was pretty much it. After this, Naruto and Naruto and Sukome are pretty much done with their thing. And yeah, now of course they were just hanging out until they actually saw the fight against Lee, which was pretty freaking Naruto actually wanted to help out Lee, but he had no choice but to actually just watch, because how he wasn't allowed to actually help anyone during the tuning exams. Of course, that actually prevented him from helping Lee, and of course Naruto was pretty pissed off that he couldn't do anything to help out Lee, especially because he really wanted to, because he saw that Lee was actually hurt. But in the end, of course, the Might Guy actually came out of nowhere and saved Lee's life. Of course, here Naruto after this, actually was able to watch how Gaara fights, and he was pretty pissed, and that Gaara Jinchuriki would actually do this. And remember, Naruto believes that all Jinchuriki are pretty much the same, like they're all happy, and Naruto only has the hateful one. And yeah, after this, of course, it was pretty much over. And yeah, now of course Sasuke wins his fight, and after this Naruto and Sukome go off on their 1 month training. Here they actually meet Jiraiya, and Jiraiya recognizes Naruto straight away, even with the mask, and basically Naruto's like, shut up. And basically Jiraiya's like, wait, what? And basically Naruto explains everything to Jiraiya. Jiraiya actually sheds a few tears, and he's like, how could Kushina do this to you? And basically Naruto's like, it's fine. And basically, of course, Jiraiya actually taught Naruto the summoning jutsu, and the 1 month training just went on by him, Jiraiya, and Sukome just bonding together. And yeah, after this, of course, Naruto, Sukome, and Jiraiya, of course, went out for ramen for the last time, because they were about to go off on their own ways. And yeah, after this, of course, Naruto was pretty sad that he had to say goodbye to his godfather, but it is what it is. And now the Chunin exams begin. Of course, now the Chunin exams are pretty different here, since Naruto is actually fighting Caillou, because Caillou actually beat Sakura. Yeah, Caillou beat Sakura. Caillou is actually fighting Naruto, and of course this fight goes a bit different. Naruto against Caillou actually begins with Caillou actually attacking Naruto, but then Naruto actually body flickering away, and then Caillou's like, I'll break that mask of yours, and pops out behind him. Herself, knowing body flicker, actually Rasengans Naruto's face, and basically Naruto's mask is actually broken, and a lot of people see that that's Naruto, and her brothers are like, so Naruto is back. And basically they were about to attack Naruto, but of course as they were trying to, Jonin told them to not do it, and basically they were about to disqualify Naruto until the Hokage is like, it's fine. And basically they were like, wait, what? And after this, of course, Caillou was like, what the hell? Hokage, how dare you? And that's where I'm going to end off. I know it was only 40 minutes, it was not an hour, but the only reason I'm doing this is because I need 3 parts, and I want to cover a lot of it. Now, I covered way too much on this part, and it was especially because there was no nothing to cover between the two. Since Naruto wasn't in the village, there was a lot that we couldn't cover, especially because we covered a lot of the Land of Waves arc in a few seconds or minutes. But it is what it is. I hope you still enjoyed it. Please stay safe. This was the King of Weebs there, and this also don't forget to subscribe to Kazama, Hxmesh, and Ratreet, Miniman13, and follow Shokin on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also don't forget to join the Discord server. All the links are in the description below. And if you want to buy some good quality anime merch, you can go to Beautiful Halo to get that good quality anime merch. And if you order $49 plus, you can get 5% off with using code meme. But if you order $99 plus, you can use code meme for 10% off. Anywho, my darklings, you're dismissed. I'm sorry if this was only 42 minutes, but peace.